Right, so the two factors for the museum fight skip is that number one is speed, and number two, it's the drop that you get towards the door, like the amount of drop you get to the door. There's a strong chance you will get it um, if you do the two factors I've just mentioned. So you just want to dive roll through this window and just hack this panel. Nothing too crazy is going on over here. After you hack this panel, we're going to do a zip here. Regarding you still have RC battering corner from all of the stuff we did in the past. You want to align Batman's head with this white line on the wall. Just like this. See how his bat ears are aligned with that thing. You want to get full storage, and you want to quick zip, perform a fast zip, and then after you fast zip, you want to spam dive roll. Dive roll in this location, you're going to spam dive roll in this position. And after you do dive roll, you're going to press X to perform a glide kick on one guy, and that will zip you to the guy while you're glide kicking. So it'll look like this. I'm gonna switch to my battering like this. I'm gonna zip, spam dive roll, press X. So I get that sort of glide kick on the guy, and it zips me right away to the guy. This fight is very simple. Just do ground takedown cancels. After you perform that fight, you want to get storage on both of your batterings. You can do it on one, but I like to do it on both, because if I mess it up, I don't have to come all the way back down here to get the corner again, and it'll mess up my positioning and everything. Right after you get to both of the corners, you want to talk to this guy as soon as you can, as soon as it's available. Spam mouse wheel down, and then you're going to hold W and D and just dive roll all the way to the store. Before the game does not let you to dive roll any longer because of this cop mission thing. Alright, so the next skip is Dino Skip. We basically skip the gladiator, and we skip basically half of the museum. We skip the ice raft with the guys and the shark. We skip all of that. So we're going to perform a door cancel, and instead of progressing to the game, we're going to turn back, go to a very specific spot, and we're going to zip from that specific spot all the way to the war room. So we go to freeze right away. Hang off of this sort of object here. You can zoom in and spam grapple to grapple onto the correct spot. Sometimes you can grapple on that thing, and it's kind of annoying. After you do hang off of this thing, you want to press A to get up, and then you want to do 2 dive rolls in front and 1 to the right. So it looks like this. I like to aim to the left here, so like the door is just off of frame. I'm gonna get storage, and to check if you're in the correct spot one more time, you can see that his right leg is lifted up like that. That means you are in the correct spot. This next set of events, it's gonna be a little tricky to explain, so I'm gonna have an interactive map right next to me, so you can guys see what it looks like. But basically, I am going to zip to like a certain area, and then I'm gonna glide away from the load trigger of the torture chamber, and then I'm gonna go inside the torture chamber, provided that it's not loaded yet. And then while I'm in the torture chamber, I am going to load the area so that I'm actually in the torture chamber, and it allows me to open the war room door so I can progress to the game. So I'm going to perform a slow zip here. You don't want to do a quick zip because you can get stuck on some kind of walls. So like this, dive roll once, dive bomb twice, turn left, dive bomb one time, and then now I'm in the room, and now I need to load the room. That's how I load the room, and I go straight to the war room door, which is right over here. And right over here, you can do dive roll cancels. You don't need to cancel this door. You can just open it right away, because you have to wait for the load icon to appear. You're going to reload the game. If by accident you leave the game, you've done a new game minus save, and you're basically screwed. You can do some dive rolls here if you want. Slide under, and this is the first time we do a gel warp. So basically, if you place gel on this wall normally, you're going to trigger Mr. Sickle, and it's going to be like a little fight with the guys, and you're going to obviously have to knock out Mr. Sickle. In order to skip that, we're going to do something called gel warp. So when I place a quick gel on the floor, the game last remembered that I placed the gel in that area. So we store the state of explosive gel to a certain area, and once we do detonate, the game still remembers that that area is where we last placed explosive gel. What we're going to do is basically with the wreck, we're going to aim, shoot the wreck, and press our quickfire gel bind. For me it's X, for you it might be square. So I'm going to hold aim, and then I'm going to press right trigger. You can do alternate fire if you want. And then I'm going to press X 3 to 4 frames after I press alternate fire right trigger. Yes, the timing is very, very slim. It's a very, very tiny time window. This is one of the hardest things in the game, because like I said, you have 3 to 4 frames to perform this trick, and the gel should warp back to the original location. When you're in like a new location, it should like revert back to the old one. So it looks something like this. Oops. Right? It's a little hard to do. Like that. See how the gel warped back to the original location? One thing you gotta keep in mind is that you need to hold aim the entire time, because that's the quick fire gel bind. It's left trigger and X or square. So what we're gonna do is we're going to intercept the gel on this wall, so we can actually explode the wall without actually manually placing gel, because that's what triggers the fight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickfire gel. You want to quickfire gel in a backwards motion so that he places gel and you're going backwards, so it's very, very close to the wall, like this. I think it can go like this, but it sometimes will stick on the wall, but it won't blow up the wall. So I just like to do this backwards. Quickfire gel. See how close it is to the wall like that. So you're gonna detonate it, and then you're gonna perform a gel warp on this wall. So it's aim, alternate fire or fire, and press X or square. It's like door canceling, but the timing is very, very like much more precise. So I'm just gonna holding forward actually helps it kind of. So like that. It actually sticks on the wall. There's some like weird collision there. And you can progress onto saving freeze. Right after you skip that cutscene, you want, as you're sliding under this, I like to buy range because it is required. Do some die roll cancels here. Why I said it's required is because there's a hack panel here that can only be unlocked from the outside. But since we have range, we can hack it from like very far away. If you do not have an upgrade point here, and you're very close to one, you can go back in that room and get some Riddler trophies and maybe the Titan container. If you do not have enough for an upgrade point, you will soft lock your game, and there's no way to recover it. So I like to stand right next to this guy, like behind this guy, while looking at it. So right after you hack this panel, you want to do some die roll cancels. The guys will come after you, so you have to act fast here. You want to do a wreck jump right here. Then dive bomb one time. Dive bomb another time. Then go all the way across to the armory room. Do some die roll cancels to this door. Over here, the game will force you to stop. Like, you cannot do anything. And you're skipping the tutorial about the guys with the goggles. So, like, after you cancel this door, you cannot move for, like, a certain amount of time. So what I like doing is canceling this door, holding crouch and forward. So like this. So I don't get stuck behind that door, and that there's some like random collision in the, you can like phase through while the door is closing for some reason. So you want to look down so you don't look at the guy over there, because it will trigger the tutorial. Perform a double ledge takedown on these guys. Then knock out this guy, and then you're gonna pull this guy off, just like that. Then you can roll off, do a glide kick, battering this guy, and do a boosted attack. Grab here storage with your RC battering. That's gonna be useful for a zip we're gonna do later. Sometimes this guy actually gets up like slower and later, much more later than the other guys did. It's a bit of annoying, and you lose time, but there's nothing you can do about it. Right after you get the disruptor, just grapple on this gargoyle. And you're gonna go all the way to Penguin. Perform a wreck jump. Glide all the way to the Icebourge Lounge. You can do another one here to glide all the way to the door. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this door, and then I'm going to turn right after that little corridor. I'm going to align myself with the heat radiator, and then I'm going to zip. And that would zip me right next to where you have to get to Penguin. It saves about 2 to 3 seconds. It's useful. So I'm just gonna cancel this door. Align myself with this heat radiator, and then right away I'm going to dive roll to like this area, because you will hit the ice particles. So right over here, I like to align myself like after this light. So this third light, I know that I can't disrupt. So like past this line, you cannot disrupt. So if you actually press X a little earlier, you can actually get a whiff where the cutscene plays, but you actually don't hit Penguin. It's funny. It's not important at all, but Yeah. So this is Grundy. This is a kind of an easy boss fight. We reload here a couple of times. You can just quick fire gel. And while he's using them, you can still use them for explosive gel, which is also a good mechanic. I'm gonna punch him. So if you're playing in Spanish, right before or while Penguin is starting to say buscando, you are going to reload, and this skips like a cutscene where Penguin does like a little introductory to like his new and improved plates. So while you reload, Grundy has a certain move where he sort of jumps on you, and he can jump on you while like you're in a black screen and you've reloaded. So what I like doing is holding like a diagonal, like a forward to the left, top left, and then I like spamming A. So I avoid that thing, because if he actually grabs you, you lose time, and it's a bit of annoying. Just punch him. You're gonna get storage while this thing is playing out, and then just spam X on his body. Just use your mouse wheel here, it's also capped. This is a little tricky. I like to align one of his bat ears with the line on the ground next to the plates. Over here you can hold forward and strike down with your mouse wheel, especially if you have a free scroll mouse. Alright, so what I just did there is while Batman punched his, like, before he punched Grundy's heart, I held aim and switched to the rec. This skips like a little slow motion thing that plays when Batman rips out Grundy's heart. So, here you're gonna do another reload, but there's a certain time to where you want to reload. If you reload too early, you're gonna have to do this whole phase again. And this skips another cutscene with Penguin where he has the rocket launcher. So I'm just gonna let this play out. So you see how that camera zoomed out? When the camera zooms out like that, that's when you want to reload. When it stops zooming out, you want to reload. So I'm gonna reload. And I'm just gonna hold run and spam slide. Sometimes Penguin can actually hit you. Okay. He can hit you while you're reloading. You can also like slide under the rockets instead of like going to the right and left, which is kind of useful. Do an ultra stun on this guy. You don't have to strike him down. Right after that cutscene plays, you just want to scan that thing. Annoying Oracle dialogue will play. You're gonna get a corner here. This corner, especially. You're gonna get it both on your battering or RC battering. You can get it on one of them. Yet again, it's optional to get it on both of them. I highly recommend you do get it on both of them, because if by accident you quickfire a battering at some point, it will mess you up entirely, and you're gonna have to get a corner that's the same orientation as this one. So while I'm getting storage on both of the batterings, I like to look up to this. See that grapple point right there? So I'm actually going to grapple on that thing. I'm going to hold W and A, cancel with the mouse wheel, and glide all the way to the door. It's a little neat strat. just to get you all the way to the door as quickly as possible. Right after I open this door, there's gonna be something called where you can do a animation cancel. So basically, after you open the museum door, Batman taps on his arm to call like a line launcher and the League of Assassins, like the data request. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to cancel that. It's very precise, and it takes a long time to get used to it. I have a sort of audio cue. I listen to when the music plays, and at a certain time where the music stops, I like to aim and shoot the rec. And then when I aim and shoot the rec, that allows me to cancel the arm tap. That cancels the arm tap, and it also cancels Alfred's dialogue if you're fast enough. Because we're gonna do the same zip that we did to go to the subway. We're going back towards the subway, so the same concept of the zip like we did in the jammers. We're gonna do the same exact thing. So I'm just gonna open this door. So like that. I'm gonna zip right away and then glide, so I skip the Alfred dialogue. Same concept, low trigger, dive bomb under the stairs, spam grapple. I'm gonna do a rec jump here. Dive bomb one time. Dive bomb another time. You're gonna dive bomb all the way to a specific spot. You can glide kick through this one panel, glide all the way down here. You can do that neat little glide where he glides over these crates and all the way here. This is where we need to zip. So align yourself with this heart right here. Get storage, switch to your batarang. Switch to your rec, don't hold aim, and switch to the rec because he'll go back to standing position. Quick fire the rec, and you end up in here. Get out of corner cover, and you can basically hack this panel from like right here. You don't need to go all the way up to it and hack it. You can hack it from like right here. The reason why we're hacking this panel is that it gives us the upgrade point for tightrope, which is useful for a skip we're gonna do later on in the game. Next skip coming up is Fiona Skip. It saves about 8 seconds compared to not doing it, and I highly recommend it because it completely eliminates RNG from Fiona Predator Room. So while the gates are opening, you can hold crouch, go under them, and then spam F, and then end up in this area. You're gonna do a corner zip here. Stand against this wall, look backwards, and do a rec jump forwards, so that he doesn't by accident glide. So I'm gonna do a rec jump here, like this. I'm dive bombing all the way to this door. I'm going to open the door, and then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go all the way to the Wonder Tower room door. The glide here is a little hard to explain. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like because there are some foreign objects, random objects in the room where you can hit, and then he'll wall press, and then you basically have to reload and try again. So you want to look left, and then you want to glide past this wall. Do some dive bombs. I like to do 2. And then right when the elevator goes off frame, I like to dive bomb again. Do a complete left turn and align his left ear with the edge of the elevator. And then once I get above this pipe, I like to turn right, go all the way to the door. So yet again, you're gonna line his head with the right side of this elevator like this. Make sure you don't glide head on to the elevator because you're gonna hit some pipes underneath that recede below the collision. So right after you dive bomb above. This pipe is a solid object, and it's the only like visual thing in the whole room. except for this elevator. So you can land on this pipe. Sometimes you can go above this pipe, and you can glide all the way to the door. You want to be careful here because he can jump off of this thing, and he can like go all the way to the void, and then you're forced to reload and try again, which is a bit of annoying. But you can just practice this if you are very, very bad at it. Open this door, and then you're gonna reload.